Oh, it's time. I haven't made this video in 2 years, but when I made it 2 years ago, back in 2019, this is when my channel really started to become serious. This is one of my most viewed videos of all time, and I haven't done it in a couple years, so it's time to update it. We're talking about the best player from every team in Major League Baseball. Now, of course, I'm not just looking at the 2021 season alone. I'm looking kind of at their last three, as well as what's going on this year, projecting for future, and seeing who is truly like that most valuable player, the best player for every team in the league. So as always with these videos, they do take a little bit of time, so if you enjoy it, you appreciate the content, it really does help me out by dropping a like on today's video, subscribing to the channel if you have not yet done so. We're dropping bangers the rest of the year, so make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss out. Get in the comment section down below, let me know what picks you agree with or disagree with. There are some really tough teams to choose, and you know what, follow me on Twitter, GiraffeNeckMarc, links in the description, as well as to all my other social media. Let's get going into the best players from every team in Major League Baseball. Let's get it started out west with the San Diego Padres. Clear and obvious choice, one of the best players in baseball, Fernando Tatis Jr. I mean, in 2021 alone, he's simply one of the best players in baseball, and definitely the best player on this team. So far in 53 games, he has a league best 22 homers, 49 RBIs, 278 average, 354 on base, 675 slugging, and a 1030 OPS with a 188 OPS plus, 11 doubles. He stole 13 bases. He still has the error problem in the field, but that's from trying to do a little bit too much. Otherwise, Fernando Tatis is just sick. Literally, his 162 game average from the 3 seasons he's played is 50 homers, 29 doubles, 7 triples, 122 RBIs with 33 stolen bases and a 975 OPS. Yep, sign me up. Fernando Tatis, best player on the Padres, hands down. For the Seattle Mariners, a little bit different here, but I'm gonna go with Mitch Haniger. Mitch Haniger is a really good player, and I feel like people forgot it because he didn't play at all in 2020, and he only played 63 games in 2019 due to injury. But this was a guy back in 2018 who got some MVP votes, was an all-star, and finished with an 860 OPS in Seattle. This year through 2021, he's having another fantastic year. 66 games, 16 homers, 15 doubles, 40 RBIs, 259 average, 309 on base, 510 slugging, and 818 OPS. Mitch Haniger is one of the most underrated players in the game, and easily the best player on the Seattle Mariners team. My goodness, we're getting some bangers to start off here. Atlanta Braves? You would think it's Freddie Freeman because he won the MVP last year, but no, it's Ronald Acuna Jr. He is also one of the best players in all of Major League Baseball. This team's loaded, but he is the #1 guy. Acuna, at only 23 years old, just keeps getting better. This year has a career high in batting average at 294. His on base is at 398, only beaten by last year in 2020 with a 406, 605 slugging career high and a 1.003 OPS, 163 OPS plus, 18 homers, 15 doubles, 43 RBIs, 14 stolen bases. Another one of these guys with a crazy 162 game average of 43 homers, 32 doubles, 102 RBIs, and 32 stolen bases, 924 OPS, and he's a beast out in the outfield. He is a physical specimen and one of the best players in baseball. Definitely the best on the Braves. It was really tough to pick for the Texas Rangers. I was going between Joey Gallo and Adolis Garcia, but I think I gotta give the respect to Joey Gallo still. While Adolis Garcia has been hot, Gallo is still a good player and has a little more track record. Now, Joey Gallo's never gonna like light up the scorebooks necessarily because he's the 3 true outcome guy, homer, strikeout, walk, and he's doing the same thing in 2021 and has done it for his entire career. Last 3 seasons though, you're looking at a 162 game average of 37 homers, 25 doubles, 90 RBI with a 219 average, 359 on base, 467 slugging, 825 OPS. Very good outfielder as well. While he's not gonna be fun for the traditional baseball fans, when you dive deeper into the numbers, he's clearly the best player on this team. Also, shout out to Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. Really good, just not the best. For the Cleveland Indians, another tough choice. Shane Bieber or Jose Ramirez? Do I go with the hitter or the pitcher? I went with Jose Ramirez. Jose Ramirez is also just one of the best players in baseball. He's so incredibly good. Like 17 and 18, finished 3rd in the MVP voting back-to-back years. 2020 finished 2nd. A little bit of a dull 2019, still finished with an 806 OPS and 23 homers. And in 2021, he's continuing on a tear. 16 homers, 15 doubles in 66 games, hitting 272 with a 352 on base, 544 slugging, 896 OPS. 162 game average from 2017 till now is 36 homers, 46 doubles, 5 triples, 104 RBI with 27 stolen bases, and a 914 OPS. Jose Ramirez, Mr. La Parra. This guy's so good. Just a little better than Shane Bieber. For the Philadelphia Phillies, I'm going with what I would like to say might be the most underrated player in baseball, or one of the most, Bryce Harper. He's so underrated because people call him overrated despite being very good. We of course know he had that MVP season back in 2015 with Washington, and while he hasn't won an MVP since, he's put up some good seasons. Since joining the Phillies in 2019, Bryce Harper has a 162 game average of 35 homers, 34 doubles, 102 RBI with 18 stolen bases, hitting 264 with a 385 on base, 509 slugging, and an 894 OPS. This is a guy who has elite plate discipline, has that pop in the bat, and has been playing a pretty good outfield. He's just simply one of the best outfielders in the game, and while the Phillies have a lot of talent at that top end, I think Harper rises to the top as the best. He, for some reason, just doesn't get a lot of love. Let's head north here to Beantown, the Boston Red Sox. Best player, Xander Bogaerts. Did my best Jerry Remy impression. I don't know what you guys think, but I think it was pretty good. Bogaerts is simply the second best hitter at shortstop in Major League Baseball. Tatis wins, but Xander Bogaerts is number 2. While he has stone hands in the field, at the plate, he's elite. In 64 games this year, 13 homers, 20 doubles, 41 RBI, hitting .325 with a .387 on base, .571 slugging, and .957 OPS. Since 2018, he's just been an absolute beast at the plate, absolutely mashes, extra base hit machine. If he could fix that glove, he would become one of the best players in baseball, like that top 15 range. The glove holds him back a little bit, but right now on this Red Sox team, I think you obviously have to go with Xander as the number 1 guy. Another third baseman making our list here for the Chicago Cubs, it's going to be Kris Bryant. Kris Bryant, bad 2020, but every other year has low-key been really good, and he's back to his MVP form in 2021, where he's got 13 homers and 16 doubles with 39 RBI in 63 games, .291 average, .372 on base, .539 slugging, and a .911 OPS. For his career .890 OPS, averages about 30 homers and 35 to 40 doubles a season. With that .890 OPS, can play multiple positions. He's hitting that free agent market, and he's going to get paid. He's the best player on this Cubs team right now. Maybe a hot take here, but coming in as the best player for the Oakland A's, it's not going to be Matt Chapman. It's Matt Olson. I think it's a hot take, but I stand by it. Matt Olson, when he's healthy and when he's clicking, is just simply one of the best first basemen in the game. Defensively elite. Might be the best defensive first baseman in all of baseball. And then at the plate, the stuff that he's doing this year, he's always been a high strikeout guy, but he has cut down on those massively. So far in 64 games, 18 homers, 16 doubles, 49 RBIs. Keep in mind, playing in Oakland, .297 average, that's a career high, .378 on base, .603 slugging, .981 OPS. Disgusting. While he had a down 2020, we're seeing him channel his inner 2019 Matt Olson, where in 127 games, he had over 60 extra base hits, 36 homers. He has shown the ability to be elite at first base, and this year, he's the best player on the Oakland A's for sure. He's pushing ahead of Matt Chapman for me, who's having a bit of a down year. New York Yankees, another tough decision. Garrett Cole or Aaron Judge? I went pitching for this one. I went with Garrett Cole. Aaron Judge is great, but Garrett Cole, he's just simply the second best pitcher in baseball and arguably like a top 7, top 8 player in the league. Since joining the Astros back in 2018, he has a 2.64 ERA in 575 innings pitched. That's about an average of 144 a season, which also includes the short seasons of 2020 and 21 thus far. Per 162, that's 215 innings pitched, a 19-6 record with a 2.64 ERA, a whip under 1 at .944, a K rate well above 30%, doesn't walk many guys, doesn't give up hits. The long ball, sure, but that's what you get with a swing and miss pitcher like Garrett Cole. He's just so good. He's disgusting. Worth all the money the Yankees are paying, no doubt. Oh my God, we're just going with heavy hitters here. Los Angeles Dodgers, best team in baseball on paper. Their best player, though, Mookie Betts. Mookie Betts is just, he's incredible. I can't believe the Red Sox traded him. Sorry, Red Sox fans. I just gotta say it because this is a generational talent. Arguably the second best player in baseball behind Mike Trout, both playing in Los Angeles, weirdly enough. Had an MVP type season in 2020 where he finished second, won the MVP in 2018 with Boston, and even though in 2021 the numbers might not be as good as you expected, he's still great. 8 homers, 18 doubles, 2 triples, and 25 RBI with 6 stolen bases in 58 games. 253 average, a little low, but a 368 on base, 545 slugging, and an 822 OPS still gives him an OPS plus at 130. Elite defensively, great on the base paths. Mookie Betts is a complete player. For the Miami Marlins, kind of forgot this guy existed, but he's really good, and it's Starling Marte. I think Marte is the clear and obvious choice right now. You could have gone with one of the young pitchers, but I like Marte's track record. Had great seasons in Pittsburgh, and since coming to Miami, he's been a very solid player as well. In 32 games thus far this year, small sample, 5 homers, 7 doubles, a triple, and 15 RBI with 8 stolen bases, 333 average, 432 on base, 538 slugging, 970 OPS. But really, I'm looking at the last 3 seasons from 2019. He's a guy with around an 850 OPS, 300 average, giving you 25 homers, 40 doubles in a 162 season, stealing 30 bases, playing good defense in center. He's a very complete player for the Marlins. A guy they might move though at the deadline because you can get some players for him for sure. And then why not? Let's go to his former team, the Pittsburgh Pirates. The best player there, Ke'Bryan Hayes. While he's only played 38 games, I stand very true in saying that Ke'Bryan Hayes is the best player on that Pirates team. Ke'Bryan's really good. In his 38 games he's played, I know again, small sample, but he is just good. 8 homers, 10 doubles, 3 triples, 18 RBI, hitting 341 with a 409 on base, 630 slugging, 1040 OPS. Now, will he be this kind of player for his entire career? Absolutely not. He'd be possibly the greatest player to ever land on this earth, but he's got good hit tools, he's got good discipline at the plate, and he's an exceptional fielder. For a weak Pittsburgh Pirates team, could have gone the Brian Reynolds route, could have said Adam Frazier, but I'm hyping up my boy Ke'Bryan Hayes. He's the best player on that roster. Oh man, another really bad team here with the Colorado Rockies. Clear and obvious choice, it's Trevor Story. Story is simply one of the best shortstops in the league, and while he's having a down year in 2021, you look at his averages over like the last 3 or 4, and you're talking about a guy who's going to give you 30 homers, 40 doubles a season with a few triples, steal you close to 30 bases, play great defense, 887 OPS, he gets on base, hits for average. Yeah, he strikes out a little bit, but when you have the other offensive production that he does, and that defense, you don't mind it. Trevor Story is a beast. Officially hit the halfway point here of the video. For the Washington Nationals, their best player, Juan Soto. Could have gone Scherzer, could have gone Trey Turner. I'm going Juan Soto. Childish Bambino. What he does at the plate is just phenomenal. The guy that he's most comparable to offensively, like at this young age, is pretty much Mike Trout, Mickey Mantle, Babe Ruth, Barry Bonds. I mean, some of the best players to ever be on this planet. While he's off to a little bit of a slow start in 2021, he's still actually having a good year. An OPS at 819, good enough for an OPS plus at 134. Still has that elite eye, walking more than he strikes out, which is just ridiculous. 2020 had 351 average, 490 on base, 695 slugging, and 1185 OPS. For his career, 950 OPS guy with a 400 on base, averages about 30 homers, 30 doubles, 100 RBI on the year, walking as much as he strikes out. He's just so good. He's a freak, and he's only 22. Doesn't make sense. And then the team that the Nationals beat in the World Series up next, weirdly enough, I swear this is random, the Houston Astros best player, Carlos Correa. I'm willing to say that Carlos Correa is the best player on this team. Now, while he's had some inconsistent seasons, down 2020, down 2018, when he's healthy, when he's really going, Correa is just like, he's elite. He's so sick. I love his glove, cannon of an arm, and at the plate, I mean, look what he's doing this year. 64 games, 12 homers, 17 doubles, 38 RBI, 294 average, 385 on base, 510 slugging, 895 OPS. Hitting the free agent market, yes, I could have gone Bregman, but I'd love to see that Correa is clicking again. Played a little bit of the villain in 2020, but I think he's got his head back on his shoulders straight, and he's playing some really good baseball. Also, Altuve's been a beast too, but I just like Correa a little more. He's got a little higher WAR. I can't believe I'm saying that, but I am. Keeping out west here for one of the most underrated players in baseball, for the Arizona Diamondbacks, their best player is clearly Ketel Marte. If Ketel Marte played in a major market, he would be getting some serious hype, but because he plays for the Diamondbacks, who can't win on the road, you kind of forget about him. Since 2019, Ketel has just simply been one of the best players in baseball. 323 average, 375 on base, 545 slugging, and a 920 OPS. His 162 game average is 28 homers, 44 doubles, 8 triples, and 92 RBI with 9 stolen bases. He can play second, he can play center. He's really elevated his game to become a hitter that can actually do some damage to you. Hits the ball so hard, probably gets moved to the deadline for some huge pieces, and if you do grab him, your team just got significantly better. He's a stud. I honestly had no clue who to pick for the Tigers, so I enlisted the help of my friend Chris Castellani on Twitter, recently hired by Barstool. Big fan of his work, drop him a follow. But after a discussion with him, Casey Mize is going to be the choice. Aggressive pick, but I like it. Casey Mize, of course, former #1 overall pick back in 2018 out of Auburn University, and he's really had a good season thus far for the Tigers on a team that doesn't have a lot of top-end talent. He seems to be the guy that's probably the best. 77 1/3 innings pitched this year, 3.49 ERA, a whip at 1.073. While he had that rough 2020, since the month of May, he's had a 2.66 ERA in 50 innings. He's pounding the zone. He's limiting offensive production from hitters, getting strikeouts, just being a better pitcher. So I think Casey Mize is probably the best player on this team. Maybe Jonathan Scope, but that's not fun. Casey Mize is way more fun. For the San Francisco Giants, Posey Crawford? No, we're going pitching here. We're going Kevin Gauze. This dude's legit. He's very good. I underrated him, but now I'll admit he's the best player on this team. Dude's a Cy Young caliber candidate. In 14 starts thus far this year, 89 2/3 innings, he has a 1.51 ERA, technically the best in baseball among qualified players. Degrom technically isn't qualified, I guess, but Gausman's still pretty good. 2.38 FIP, again, best in baseball. ERA plus a 2.59, a K per 9 of 10.3, a K rate of about 33%. Walks are down to 1.9, doesn't give up any hits, doesn't give up the long ball. He's been filthy. And really, since he's come to San Francisco, he's been filthy. He's thrown about 150 innings of a 2.35 ERA and a whip under 1. I don't care where you pitch, who you are, that's filthy. He's the best player on this team. Tampa Bay Rays fans, I'm so sorry because he just hit the 60-day IL with the UCL problem, but it's Tyler Glassnette, clearly the best player on this team. Glasnow is really good. We saw him be filthy in 19 with his first full season with the Rays. 2020, a little different story, but you still see the top-end quality stuff, and in 2021, he's having a Cy Young caliber season, so unfortunately went down with an injury. Striking out about a third of the batters he's faced. The stuff he's got's absolutely filthy. It's unfair at times. AL best hit per 9 at 5.6, a 2.66 ERA and 88 innings pitched, under 1 whip, 2.77 FIP. He's just so good. The mini horse, baby giraffe. These are some interesting nicknames I'm seeing on Baseball Reference. He's got that beautiful hair, and he's a beast. He's the best player on the Rays. Let's head north of the border here to talk about the Toronto Blue Jays, even though they haven't played in Canada this year. Best player on that team, Vlad Jr. Easy. Vladito is just, there he is. There's the player everybody was waiting for, having the best offensive season in Major League Baseball. He's like on pace to win the Triple Crown in the American League, which is crazy. Haven't seen that since Miggy. That's a pretty incredible feat since he started hitting the ball in the air more. Crazy, Vlad Jr.'s been elite, one of the best hitters in baseball. 67 games this year, 22 homers, 56 RBI, 82 hits, leads the American League, leads baseball, tied for it with home runs and RBI, 342 average, 444 on base, 675 slugging, 1119 OPS. That's the best in baseball. I don't think I need to say anything else. Those offensive numbers alone, that's all you need to hear. Vlad Jr. is so good. I'm so happy I invested in his cards. He's gonna make me rich because he's just like so good. And then speaking of another hitter that's going off this year, Cincinnati Reds, outfielder Jesse Winker. It's between him and Castellanos. I went Winker. I just did it. While he may not have the track record of Castellanos, you just look at these numbers and it's hard to say he's not the man. He went from a guy who was like maybe a little bit platoonish back in 2019, still good offensively. Couldn't play the field though, so that kind of kept him out of the lineup lineup a little bit to a guy that you need to have in the lineup every single night. Since 2019, his 162 game average is 33 homers, 27 doubles, 289 average, 382 on base, 536 slugging, and 918 OPS. But the real reason why we're freaking out is because every year he raises that OPS, raises that slugging, raises the on base percentage, and it's led to by far the best season of his career this year through 60 games. 17 homers, 13 doubles, 41 RBI with 340 average, 415 on base, 621 slugging, and a 1036 OPS. Video game numbers. Keeping it in the NL Central for the Milwaukee Brewers, could have gone Burns, could have gone Woodruff, but it's still going to be Christian Yelich. Now again, while he's had a slow start to this season after a slow start in 2020, I still think the injuries are bothering a little bit. He's starting to heat up, and I can't ignore what he did in 18 and 19, which were the last 2 full seasons he played, where he won the MVP and arguably should have won it in 19. Like, that was a guy who was hitting 35 plus homers a year, 30 doubles, and OPS above 1,000. That's gross. That's one of the best players in baseball. The last 2 seasons, though, got to admit, not great. His 162 game averages in those seasons, 26 homers, 19 doubles, 65 RBI, and 16 stolen bases, with a 787 OPS and shockingly a 220 average. Walking still at an insane rate, 375, but the average is a little down. So while he is struggling, I still think he's the best player on this team, and by the end of the year, he's going to have it straightened out big time. Oh my God, another NL Central team here. St. Louis Cardinals best player, Nolan Arona. Everyone shut up. Stop with the Coors Effect stuff, because Nolan Arona has gone to St. Louis and continued to be an elite third baseman. Defensively, he's still a king. While the numbers aren't there yet, it's too short to really make a judgment on if he's lost it, because if you watch this guy play, you go, oh, he's unbelievable defensively, and at the plate, still very good. While the average isn't at that 300 level, still got the power, 12 homers, 20 doubles in 67 games, an 809 OPS, 269 average, 317 on base, 492 slugging. Cardinals are a weird offensive team, but Arenado's definitely one of the strongest guys there, and I think it's safe to say he's also the best player, especially with his track record. Now, for my favorite team, the New York Mets, Jacob Degrom. The best player is Jacob Degrom. I don't even need to say anything else. It's Jacob Degrom. He simply might not be human. He won the Cy Young in 2018 and in 2019, arguably could have won it in 2020, and as long as he's healthy, he's gonna win it in 2021 as well. He's having the best start to a season in Major League Baseball history. 11 starts, a .54 ERA, a FIP at .79, a WHIP at .50, striking out more batters than he ever has, almost a 50% K rate through 67 innings, walking less batters than he ever has. He's only given up 26 hits. That's a hit per 9 of 3.5. Like, he's not a human. He's not a human. He's the best player on this team, arguably the best healthy player in baseball right now. Obviously, Mike Trout's still number 1, but Degrom, top 3 when Trout comes back, without a doubt, which weirdly parlays into the Los Angeles Angels' best player. And while I would love to pick Shohei Ohtani, can't do it yet. It's still Mike Trout, because before Trout got hurt, he was having an unreal year, because that's what Mike Trout does. He's actually proof that there are aliens roaming this earth. In the 36 games he played this season, 8 homers, 8 doubles, a triple, and 18 RBIs, 333 average, 466 on base, 624 slugging, 1090 OPS. For his career, he's a guy who averages 39 homers, 34 doubles, and 6 triples with 103 RBI, 26 stolen bases over his 162 game average, a 305 batting average, 419 on base, 583 slugging, 1.002 OPS. Possibly the best player of all time. He's the best player on the Angels. It's not even close. Like, Ohtani's good, but Mike Trout's just like, he's Mike Trout. Crazy. For the best player on the Baltimore Orioles, I wanted to pick Cedric Mullins or John Means, because those guys have been hot this year, but I think you gotta give it to Trey Mancini. Coming back from cancer, this guy is balling out again. He just mashes at the plate. So far this year, in 66 games, 12 homers, 15 doubles, 49 RBI, hitting 277 with a 356 on base, 482 slugging, 838 OPS. The last 2 seasons he's played, you're giving him a 162 game average of 35, 40, and 108 with an 881 OPS. That's an elite offensive player. That's elite offensive production. Yes, Baltimore is a bandbox, but those 2 seasons, plus the bat that we know he has, plus the dude beat cancer, I think you have to pick Trey Mancini right now as the best player. Cedric Mullins and John Means are very close, though. 3 legit good players in Baltimore. And Adley's coming. For the White Sox, oh my goodness, this is so tough, but I went Jose Abreu. The guy won the MVP in 2020. He's having another solid year in 2021. All he's ever done is mash when he was a member of the White Sox. He's a fantastic hitter, and I wanted to pick Yohan Moncada because I see what he's doing this year. He deserves recognition. Tim Anderson too. But Abreu is like that guy that pushes his team forward. He hits for power. He drives in runs, and I know RBI isn't a stat that should determine if someone's good, but he drives in runs. They need that. He does it. He's clutch, and he's consistent. Over his 8 years, he has an 865 OPS. Over the last 3, you're looking at a 162 game average of 37 homers, 38 doubles, 135 RBI, 284 average, 338 on base, 519 slugging, 857 OPS. That's great at the plate. He's a consistent cog for this White Sox team that moves them forward. Down to the penultimate player here. That means second to last. Another AL Central team here as we finish out with 3 AL Central teams in a row. Again, swear this is random. Best player for the Kansas City Royals, Salvador Perez. People forgot about him a little bit. Didn't play in 2019, hurt his elbow. But this last 104 games that he's played with the Royals, I mean, these numbers are crazy from a catcher. He's not the same defensive player that he once was, but he has made up for it offensively. In 104 games, 28 homers, 25 doubles, 77 RBIs, hitting 304 with a 332 on base, 569 slugging, and a 901 OPS. You know how hard it is to have a 900 OPS when you refuse to walk like Salvador Perez, but that's how good he's been at the plate. He's changed his game offensively. He's become a really, really good hitter. And this year, 17 homers, 13 doubles in 67 games. He's continuing on that. Just walk a little more, Salvi. That's all we're asking for. And you will become like so elite. It's crazy. But I think he's the best player on this Royals team. And then for the final team of today's video, the Minnesota Twins, their best player, Byron Buxton. While he hasn't played in a bit due to injury, it's clear and obvious that when this guy's healthy and on the field, he's the best player there. Since 2019, he's only played 150 games, but listen to these numbers. 32 homers, 43 doubles, 4 triples, 90 RBI, and 21 stolen bases, hitting 280 with a 319 on base, 578 slugging, 897 OPS, 138 OPS plus. Oh yeah, and he's like disgusting defensively, probably the best defensive center fielder in baseball. So you get elite offensive production, you get a sick glove in the outfield, he flies around the base paths, he gets to every single ball. There's no other choice in Minnesota. I don't want to hear it. It's Byron Buxton. So good. So those are the best players from every single team in Major League Baseball. I'd love to know what you think down in the comment section below. Go back, look at the 2019 version, see how teams have changed over 2 seasons, because I'm telling you, a lot of the names on this list have either changed or are new names. So I'm really excited to see how you guys feel about this video down in the comments below, as well as if you did enjoy it, it helps me out a lot by dropping a like on the video and subscribing to the channel so you don't miss out on any of the content coming at you over the next, well, I hope you're subscribed to the end of time, but however long you're here, subscribe. Follow me on all my social media, GiraffeNeckMarc, links in the description, and that's where I'm wrapping up today's video. Tomorrow we got a mock draft for the MLB draft coming at you, so if you're into that kind of stuff, big day tomorrow. Otherwise, you know the drill from here on out. YouTube recommends you watch this video. You know what? This is my video from 2019, the best player from every team. If you didn't see it, click it, watch it. It's still pretty good. It plays today. Why not? Compare it to what today's video looks like. Thank you guys so much for watching, supporting the channel, and I'll see you all tomorrow for another video. Bye.